Hey my Pilates people, welcome to Connect and Move. My name is Jessica. Today I have for you kind of an intermediate reformer flow. All you will need is your box, and then if you need a pad for kneeling, go ahead and grab it. We're gonna be moving pretty quickly today and doing a couple inversions, standing on the reformer, so that's why I'm calling this an intermediate flow. We will be starting with a heavy, medium, and a light spring for a little bit of footwork. We're gonna get right into some single leg stuff, and then we're just gonna move right along. So quick moving today, shorter reps, but we're gonna get in a lot of things, right? So I'm trying to pack a bunch of stuff in this morning. I only have about 30-40 minutes, so yeah, let's get started. So lying down on your carriage, let's go heels on, hip socket distance apart. Go and flex your feet. Take a moment here to just feel some length in your body and feel the reach out through your fingertips. So imagine you were just doing a constant chest expansion down into the mat. Find your natural neutral. Bring your right leg up into tabletop and go ahead and press that carriage out, driving right through the center of your heel and back in. If you need to place your hands on your hips, anywhere on your body just to get some tactile feedback, right, go for it. Otherwise, think of the entire back of the arms imprinting into the mat. Tailbone is staying heavy. And there's equal weight across your ribs, your upper back, your hips. Let's do 3 and 2. And last one, bring the carriage in halfway and little pulses here. Keep pulling those toes back to your shins. Shin. And for these next few pulses, I want you to really focus on your butt cheeks right now, your left butt cheek. Invite that to the party for 3 and 2 and 1. Press it all the way out and then bring the carriage all the way home. Right heel comes down. Just do a quick check to make sure that you're still back in that hip socket distance apart. Left leg up into tabletop. Press the carriage out and then drag it back in. Inhale takes you out. Exhale pulls you back in. And if you're like me and you're a little off, right now I feel like I'm going into a big twist or like a side bend. Like my right shoulder won't stay down. So my stomach's having to work real hard to try to stabilize the spine here. And of course, the sides of your neck are staying long. Remember, we're driving right through the center of that right heel. So just every now and then check in with it. Make sure you're not rolling out or in. A lot of times we forget about that right pinky toe. It's still pulling back just as much as your big toe. Tailbone stays heavy. That might help you tap into your right butt cheek a little bit more. For 4 and 3 and 2. And last one, bring the carriage in halfway and do those little controlled pulses, right? Think of it as a push-pull, push-pull. Keep working the front of that shin bone to pull the toes back. So we're just going into a hard flex of that ankle today. And I don't know about you, but I'm starting to feel things in that right leg. You got 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Press it all the way out and then drag it all the way back in. All right, come back down onto both heels, still hip socket distance apart. Make sure your headrest is all the way down. Arms are imprinted into the mat. Take a big breath in. And then on your exhale, go ahead and roll the hips up, up, up to the top of your bridge. Now, when you're here at the top, just make sure the front of the chest feels open. The pubic bone is higher than your 2 hip points. And now go and press the carriage out to your working angle and then pull the carriage in. Inhale takes you out. Exhale pulls you back in. And I want you to play around with the idea now with kind of shifting just a hair more into the inner edges of your heels. And just see, right, if that connects you to different parts without the knees shifting all over the place, right? So we're still in parallel. Let's do 3 and 2 and last one. Drag the carriage all the way into the stopper and then melt all the way down, right? Think of sending the hips away. All right, so staying with the heels on, go ahead and roll the hips back up to the top of your bridge. Bring your right leg up into tabletop. Press the carriage out and then resist back in. Inhale takes you out. Exhale pulls you back in. Let those arms help you. If you want, of course, you can always take them up to the ceiling. Inner thighs still at the party here. You have 2. And last one, bring the carriage all the way into the stopper. Place your right heel down. Left leg up in a tabletop. Steady the pelvis, level the pelvis, press it out, and then resist back in. So something that helps me, if I think of like lifting that left shin up to the ceiling, it'll keep that left hip from dropping. Arms are still reaching long, no tension in your neck. And then just pay attention to what's happening in the weight in your right heel. Let's do 2. Buddha, my boy. Last one. Bring it all the way into the stopper. Place the left heel down and then roll all the way down. All right, bring your knees into your chest. If it's available, curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. Take your hands to your right shin. Extend your left leg out long and away. Push the right shin up and into the hands to curl up higher. Stabilize the pelvis and then switch legs. And switch. Let those inner thighs kiss as they pass in space. And really work the opposition from knee to toes. Let's do 3. And 2. And 1. Bring both knees into your chest. Push the shins up and into your hands. Sink the tailbone down heavy. Legs go out. Press your arms into your sides like you're a penguin. Really hug the elbows in tight. And then bend the knees all the way back in. Maybe curl up a little bit higher. Inhale, take the legs out. We hold. 2, 3. Exhale, bend the knees all the way back in. Last one. Stretch the legs out and away. Hold. 2, 3. Now keep the legs there. Roll your chest back down. Take your hands onto either the pegs or the shoulder blocks. Legs are going to lift up and over for your rollover. Headrest should still be down. Pause here at the top. Exhale, create space between chin and chest. And now just roll your hips all the way down, all the way down, all the way down. Legs are gonna lower down towards the foot bar. Legs lift up and over. Once again, pause here. Can you squeeze the legs together? Can you lift the hips up a little bit higher off of your ribs? And then from here, we roll down, roll down, roll down. Let your arms help you up and over. Now pause here at the top again. Lift the hips off the ribs, flex your feet, pull those pinky toes back to your shins. Now keep driving the heels to the wall behind you as you roll down, roll down, roll down. Legs are gonna lower down. Zip the legs up together, point your toes, legs go up and over. Relax those shoulders away from the ears. We open, we flex, we roll all the way down. One more like this. Zip the legs up, legs go up and over. Now, hold here, steady the hips. Think space between ribs and hips. Reach your right leg up to the ceiling as your left leg lowers down, and then scissor switch. Doesn't have to be big, but what I want you to focus on is how steady can you keep your pelvis as those legs move around here. We got 3 and 2 and last one. Zip the legs up together and roll down. Hopefully there's not a cat in your way. Lower the legs all the way down to the floor or all the way down to the foot bar. Keep the inner thighs engaged. Reach the arms up to the ceiling. Take a big breath in, and then on your exhale, you're gonna roll yourself all the way up. Awesome. Legs come off. Let's come down to one light spring. One light spring. So for balanced body for me, that is a blue spring. Knee pad if you need. go ahead and grab it. I'm gonna come kneeling with my right shin in line with the center of the carriage. Okay, we'll start there. If you feel like you need to move, do so. So I'm gonna take that forward left long loop, hook it around my left arch, if I can get it there. All right, so we have some options. You can stay here with your hands onto the shoulder blocks, or you can bring your right forearm down into the mat and keep your left hand up here. I feel like this allows for more range. The other one might be a little bit harder. You pick, they're both challenging. So pick your position with your upper body. I'm gonna reach that left leg down towards the floor and just hold here. I'm gonna push down through my right shin as much as I can. My arms are active here, right? So I'm not sinking down. Think of you doing a plank here the whole time. Keep the left leg straight and then just sweep it back behind you. And then with control, we lower it down. So right now, this left leg is challenging the rest of the body. It's saying, how stable can you be? How stable can you keep that right hip, right? And I really want you to find that hip extension at the top. So as that leg lifts up, it reaches back. Think of the left hip going down a little bit more and then come all the way down. All right, we lift that back leg up. We hold it there. You're gonna keep it high as it circles forward and then down. We're just drawing a big old circle. It lifts and then rolls around and forward. 2 more like that. Lift, 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 and circle it around. Last one. And then down. Now hold here with the leg to the side. Realign your body if you need. Now flex that foot. Lift it straight out to the side and then back in. Try not to let that carriage move. Think of leading with the back edge of that heel. And remember, we're still pushing down into your right shin. We've got 3 and 2. And last one, lower the leg down, bend that knee, and let's go ahead and take it off. Told you, quick reps today. I don't know about you, but I was feeling my shoulder on that one, like working. All right, shimmy yourself over to the other side. Right strap, right foot. Pick that arm position that you had on the other side. Leg goes down. Pause here. Again, think head to tail length. And now leg sweeps back behind you. And then down. And you're trying to keep your spine relatively stable. If you are finding like some flexion extension, just make sure that it's controlled and it's not your back that's pulling on the strap. It's your right hip, right butt cheek, and also right leg. 2 more here. And then down. Last one, it lifts. Now it's gonna circle around, lift it up to the corner of the ceiling, and then down. That really challenges that left hip because it wants to roll all around to make my circle bigger. 2 more. Lift it up to the ceiling and then around. Last one. Lift it up to the ceiling and then around. All right, we flex that foot. Keep the carriage stable. Lifts out to the side and then back in. So obviously with keeping the carriage stable, right, it's not gonna be a straight line with this lift. That's okay. Woo. How's that left hip doing? Keep it stable, keep it lifted. We've got 3 and 2, lift with the back edge of that heel. Last one, lower it down, bend the knee. Let's take the strap off. All right, we're gonna stay on that light spring. I'm gonna come kneeling, knees up against the shoulder blocks, hip socket distance apart. I'm gonna walk myself forward, like really far up, okay? So just be mindful of your thumbs if you go ham on this exercise. I'm gonna keep my back flat. I'm gonna push my shins down into the mat. I'm just gonna pull myself forward and then slowly let myself go back. Again, think of armpit muscles engaging to pull yourself forward and then back. So it's exactly like the move we do in arms and straps, only now we're just upside down. Think of broadening that collarbone each time you pull yourself forward. Now, as we let ourselves go back, I want you to dip your chest down. So I'm thinking of kind of hinging down towards the floor. And then from here, I'm gonna pull myself up. So I hinge down, hips kind of lift up to the ceiling, and then pull myself up. Now, shoulder mobility here. This might feel a little restricted if you've got some limited range on your shoulders or in your shoulders, that's okay. Doesn't have to be big. Inhale takes you down. Exhale lifts you back up. Last one. And then come up. Now I want you to come down about halfway, okay? I want you to bend your elbows, tap them down, and then lift them up. Bend the elbows, tap them down, and then lift back up. All the while you are staying in a strong, flat back. Otherwise, you're just holding a plank, right? Keep those toes down into the mat. We have 3. Anybody else feeling things? And 2. And last one, lift yourself up, pull yourself forward one last time, and then let yourself go back. And now sit the hips back and just let your chest hang. Stretch out the armpits, the shoulders, maybe kind of wave back and forth. All right. All right, so now we're gonna come to 2 medium springs. So for me, that's 2 reds. I'm gonna be seated pretty close to the front edge of the reformer or of my carriage. And I'm gonna place all 10 toes on, heels together, toes apart. So I can already tell I'm a little too scrunched up. So it will feel uncomfortable, right? This is stomach massage. So I want you to grab onto the front edge of the carriage here. Pin those heels together, pull your body forward, but pull your belly back away from your thighs. Now keep the shape of your spine, press the carriage out. We lower the heels under, we lift the heels up, and then pull yourself home. So what I want you finding here is some type of just stretch in the back, right? The tailbone stays curling under. Think organs pulling away from your thighs. Let's do one more. So pull the carriage all the way home. I told you quick reps today. Reach the arms up to the ceiling. Now they circle around, find your shoulder blocks. If the shoulder blocks aren't for you, take your hands into the mat, no worries. Press the carriage all the way out. I'm sorry, Buddha. So roll the chest open. Think pubic bone pointing down towards the mat. Now lower the heels. We lift the heels and then get taller as you pull yourself home. Inhale takes you out. Hold the breath lower. Lift, exhale, empty the lungs, come all the way in. Now, as you do this, can you get lighter in your hands? So imagine they were just kind of hovering behind you. Holy cannoli, right? And home. Last one. Come all the way home. Lift the hands, circle the arms around. Think of them now pressing down into an imaginary table. Now press the carriage out. Keep reaching the arms forward and lifting tall through the crown of the head. And now bend the knees, come all the way home. Again, press the carriage out. We lift taller, taller, taller. And then bend the knees, come all the way home. Last one here, press the carriage out. We lift and twist to the left. We get taller, taller, taller. And then bring it all the way home. Again, find your upper back muscles to spiral you more open. And then back to center. 2 more each side. Lift and twist, check your feet. They should look the same. And back to center. Again, lift, open up your chest and back to center. 2 more. Lift tall, 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 and back in. Last one. Push the foot bar away like crazy, 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 and then back to center. Grab onto the foot bar, give yourself just a quick stretch, and bring the carriage all the way in. All right, foot bar is gonna go all the way down. Staying on the 2 medium springs, semicircle. So all 10 toes come onto the foot bar, heels together, toes apart. Take your hands up onto the shoulder blocks. Press yourself out to like this high floating bridge, all right?
So if it's too much on the shoulders, just take your hands higher up onto the shoulder blocks. I want you to push strongly out through your arms, but still keep space between chin and chest. My knees are only bent to shoulder width distance. My heels are lifted. From here, I'm just gonna melt my spine all the way down. Let those hips descend into the well. And then once you feel like you can't go any further, you're gonna press the carriage out about 3/4 of the way. Now, the challenge here is, can you keep the carriage quiet as you roll those hips up, roll up, roll up, roll up. Now we pull the carriage home. Negotiate all the equipment as you soften the sternum, melt the ribs, the low back, the hips, and now press the carriage out that 3/4 of the way. Roll the hips up, 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 and now pull the carriage in all the way home. Now we press it out. We're just gonna reverse for 2. We melt as we roll all the way down. Let yourself kind of relax into it, and then pull yourself home. Roll the hips up. Every toe pad stays connected, y'all. Press it out. Now keep that carriage super still as you melt all the way down. Hips into the well. Drag your carriage all the way in. Roll your hips up. Think of driving your pubic bone up, but keeping your chest soft. Now circle the arms around. Grab onto your ankles if you can. If not, just hold on somewhere on the frame. And now I want you to find a deeper stretch in those thighs, and now drop your heels down, but keep the pubic bone lifted. And sometimes I like to kind of fan the knees, like I can bring them in and out a little bit. All right, stabilize the hips, heels, all the things. Circle the arms around, grab onto the shoulder blocks, and then pull yourself all the way up, and then bring the carriage in. Fabulous. All right, so now we're gonna place the foot bar back up, and we're gonna stay on those 2 medium springs. Let's grab your box. Anybody have a cat on their box? Boo boo, I'm so sorry. I love you. Mwah. Come on, my boy. I'm sorry. Oh, Buddha. All right, seated on your box. Feet are gonna be hooked underneath that safety strap. So make sure that it's on those ankle creases and not the top of the feet. Flex your feet hard here. Okay, so legs are very much at the party. I'm gonna have at least a palm's distance behind my booty and the edge of the mat. Just gonna give myself a little hug here. And I'm just gonna round forward first. And now lead with the pelvis as I roll back. Roll back, roll back, and then lift and roll back up. Pelvis leads the way. Roll yourself back, back, back. And now think of the pelvis staying still for as long as you can. And now the chest goes up and over. Right, almost as if there was barbed wire wrapped around your forearms and you were constantly pulling back away from those forearms. Again, last one here. Think waistband into the mat first, and then roll yourself all the way up. Interlace the webbing of the fingers. Hands go behind the base of the skull. Lift the head up and into the hands. Keep the elbows wide, but kind of tilting up like butterfly wings. And now back's gonna stay flat. We're gonna hinge back, 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 and then lift yourself back up. Head stays pushing back. We get taller as we go back, 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 and then lift yourself back up. Again, inhale takes you back, and then exhale takes you up. Good, last one. If I said last one before, sorry, not sorry. Keep those feet flexed, and then lift yourself back up. Now find a little hinge forward. And now side bend up and over to the right. Lift that left elbow up higher to the ceiling, and then back up through center. Up and over to the left. Right elbow lifts up, and then back through center. Keep pulling apart on that strap, and keep pulling the toes up to the shins. Last one over to the left. And now find center. Keep this tiny pitch forward in the head to hand connection. We lift and twist to the left. Lift, 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 and then back through center. We lift and twist to the right. Think of spiraling up, 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 and then back through center. One more time each side. Kind of. Lift up out of your waistline, and then back through center. Imagine you've got like a corset on, and you gotta lift up off that corset because it's way too tight. Why is it so tight? Lift and twist to the left again. Now you're gonna stay in the twist. You're gonna hinge straight back. Think of going right to the center of the well, and then lift yourself back up.
Again, we twist to the right. We hinge straight back. Keep those legs stable and then back up. One more time each side. Think of your left elbow going right to the center of that reformer and back up. Last one here. Spiral more. Hinge back, go back, stretch back, and then lift yourself back up. All right, we come to center. So let's take your feet out of that safety strap. Take your heels up onto the box, okay? This might have to switch around a little bit. All right, so just remember that. I'm gonna reach down, light spring. One light spring, so for me that's a blue. So it's a little bit heavier than my lightest spring. My feet are about hip socket distance apart. I'm gonna place my hands onto that foot bar. I'm gonna drive my heels into the box. I'm gonna lift my hips up. Oh, make sure that foot bar is locked in place. Lift the heels up. Press the carriage out and just hold here in a strong plank position. Drive those heels back, right? You can hear my box kind of shifting back. And now I'm gonna bend the knees, bring the carriage in, take the hands off the foot bar, come into this low thigh burner lunge, and now take the hands down. We press the carriage back. Keep lifting up through the sternum, pull that bar apart. Bend the knees, bring the carriage home. We come back into that low booty lunge, or squat, sorry, and then press it out. I'm thinking about lunge because that's what we're gonna do. Bring your right toes up onto your platform. Your right shin is now up against the foot bar. It's gonna stay like that. Your right heel, it is in line with the rest of your foot, all right? So I want you to just straighten both legs, bring the carriage in. All right, my shin is pulling away from that foot bar, and now just bend the knee, press the carriage back, right? I'm gonna straighten both legs, I'm gonna lift up, and then press it out. So for this one, forgive me, the shin might pull away from the foot bar, that's fine. Think of your right hip spiraling back as your left hip spirals forward. That's gonna be super important for this next few moves here. So come down into that lunge, okay? If you can, hands come off of the foot bar, all right? So I don't care what you do with your hands here, but again, I want you to feel that right hip kind of going back, left hip going forward, all right? So all I want you to do is just straighten both legs, keep the right shin up against the foot bar, and then press the carriage back out. All right, little glide up and out. Or in and out, up and down, whatever you want to call it. Now your right heel is staying still. All right, it's not going up and down. Let's do 3. And 2. And last one. Press the carriage out, find that low lunge. Interlace the webbing of your fingers, hands go behind the head. Now we're still gonna keep the head to hand connection. I want you to round forward. Think belly pulling back, ribs lifting up. Now, bend the back knee, bring the carriage in, and then press it out, right? Little mountain climbers from your chair here. Elbows, try to keep them lifted. Now keep that head lifting up into your hands as well. Right heel stays stable. You got it. I'm feeling that right hip like crazy right now. We got 3. And 2. And last one, press the carriage back out. Stack your spine up tall. Take the hands down to the foot bar. Step your right foot back, find plank. Hold here. Just delaying the storm a little bit. Left toes come forward, so your right heel is hovering. All right, remember the left shin can glide away from the foot bar as we straighten both legs, and then press it back out. So think of your legs as like a pair of scissors here. So they're both working to pull the carriage back into that home position. And then if that cue doesn't work, think of that left hip spiraling back, right hip spiraling forward. 2 more here. Just find a stretch out of this, my tight people. Last one. Now press the carriage back. We find the low lunge. Stack your spine up tall. Hands come behind your head here. Right shin stays glued to the foot bar. We bring the carriage in and then we press it back out. Here's where I really find that like scissor connection of like my inner thighs pulling in. Because it's very easy for all of this work to be in the back leg and that front leg to not really do anything, right? It's all your footwork. It's your press downs on the chair. Keep that head to hand connection if your hands are there. I think I said on the other side, do what you'd like with your hands, but I'm here. If you're here, awesome. Good, let's do 2. Last one. Find those inner thighs. One last time. All right, now we come into that lunge. Hands behind the head if they're not already there. Round up and over. Pull the ribs back and the low abdominals off of that front thigh. And now back knee bends in and then press it out. Now challenge here, extra challenge. Think of those hips sinking down just a little bit lower each and every time, right? Because you want to keep lifting up. And my right heel is shaking like crazy right now. Keep the head pushing up. Right hip forward, left hip back. You got this, y'all. You got this. For 4. And 3. Shaky leg. Take your hands down if you need. And 2. Last one. Go out to that lunge. Stack your spine up tall first. Ooh, then the hands come back down. Step your foot back. Find plank. Bend the knee in. Sit your hips back. All right. Real quick. Take an ankle over the knee. Hinge forward. Get a stretch. Left ankle over right knee. All right, we're gonna stay on this light spring. We're gonna keep the foot bar up. So for me, my foot bar does not lock, okay? So it might move around a little bit. It's okay, right? Think of just staying pushing up into it. If yours locks, great, yours won't move. So, oh boo-boo. So I'm gonna come lying across the box like a letter T. My pelvis is gonna go kind of in the center. And I lie, I should say that we want your ankles, kind of the beginning of your calf muscles, to be underneath the foot bar. And if you're like, well, I'm not sure where, find a comfortable place, right? You're not on bone there, okay? So my legs are a little bit apart and I've got a little bit of a turnout, okay? I am going to lift my legs up into the foot bar. I'm gonna drive my pubic bone down into the box. This is not gonna change, right? You see my foot bar just lifted up. So I'm gonna think of keeping it still. Let your upper body just drape into the well, arms just hang down by your side. Think of those legs reaching long. And now I want you to reach the arms down and back. Lift your chest up, reaching your heart forward. Now hold here. Think of the fingertips reaching past the box and to the foot bar. Keep the legs energized. As you just round up and over, arms come back down. Again, pull the arms down and back. Lift the chest up. Roll the collarbones open. And then lower all the way back down. Now we're gonna do a combo of like a rowing pull straps 2 here. So pull the arms down and back, right? There's your pull straps 1. Open the arms out to the side. There's your pull straps 2. As your arms start to reach forward, just dive the head up and over and down, right? We're just doing a big old butterfly swim, really. Arms reach back. Lift the chest, reach the heart forward. Arms circle up out of the water. They reach forward and dive back down. Last one like this. Up and back, lift the arms up out of the water and then reach them forward, come all the way down. Take a moment. Take a moment. All right, so re-energize the legs if you lost it. If it starts to bother your low back, take a wider position. If you want to take things harder, bring the legs together. All right, so re-energize the legs, drive the pubic bone down, interlace the webbing of the fingers. Hands go behind the head now. All right, think of lifting up through the upper abdominals first. Now you lift the head up and into the hands. We hold here for just a second. Take your gaze forward a little bit more. Maybe you could find some more head to tail length.
And now start to let your head go down, but lift up through your upper abdominals to go up and over. Almost as if my fist was at your upper abdomen and you were pulling away from it. Last one like this, up and over. Lift up, lift those elbows wider, wider, wider. And now round up and over my fist as you come all the way down. Woo. All right, we're gonna try and stay up there, and now we're gonna add a little twist, okay? So legs, how they feeling? Stack your spine up tall, all right? Find that long line. Now, we twist to the left. Keep driving the pelvis down. We twist to the right. Lift that right elbow up, and then back to center. Keep pushing the head back and into the hands, and then back to center. Right elbow lifts up. Keep your tailbone long, y'all. And then back to center. One more time each side. Last one. And then back to center. Come all the way down. All right. Unhook those legs. Holy hamstrings cannoli. Okay, so let's now come off. Woo. I think my right leg was working a little too hard on that one. So I'm gonna come back to my 2 medium springs. I'm gonna take off my light spring. I'm gonna come seated on the foot bar. Not on the foot bar, on the box, this guy. So I'm gonna hook my left foot under, and I'm gonna bring my right knee into my chest. All right, I'm gonna grab onto the back of the leg. Keep your left foot flexed, sit up tall, and now straighten your right leg out, and then bend the knee. Straighten the right leg out, and bend the knee. The closer the leg is into you, right, the deeper the stretch, and the taller up you sit, the deeper the stretch. Now I want you to straighten the leg, climb up the leg. Grab on as high as you possibly can with a razor straight leg. Now enjoy the stretch just right here. Once again, think of those organs trying to lift off of your thighs, and now take the shape back with you as you go back, 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 all right? And then rock yourself back up. So we're not gonna do full tree today. We're just gonna rock back and forth. Just again, finding a stretch somewhere. Now I want you to rock yourself all the way up. I want you to take your left hand, grab onto the outside of your right foot. Okay, so my back of my hand is facing you. I'm gonna try to straighten that leg out. So drive the heel to the wall in front of you, and I'm gonna sit up really tall, and I'm gonna look back, and I'm gonna twist, lift, 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 and then bends the knee back in. Let's do it one more time. Push that heel away. We lift up taller and higher, and then back in. Now I'm gonna take my right hand. I grab onto the inside of my foot, okay? Left hand, grab onto your handle on the side of your box or just somewhere over there. I'm now gonna push that heel out and away. Now I'm gonna lean back a little bit. Breathe into those tight places and then push into that hand to rock yourself back up. Some people are gonna take the leg all the way out to the side. Me, I'm tight, right? It's just not gonna happen. You go to where you can. So keep your left foot flexed. Keep energy out through that heel as well. And then exhale, rock yourself back up. Awesome, we do the other side. Even got a little shoulder stretch on that one. Right foot, hook it under, grab onto the back of your left thigh. We sit up tall. We do that little bend and extend here. So try your best to sit up really tall on those sitting bones. Now, straight leg, we climb up the leg. Push the leg down and into your hands, and then we rock back. Think of that left hip going to your right inner thigh, especially as you go back, right? It's gonna wanna come with you, especially if you're tight. And now rock yourself up, right hand to the outside of your left foot. We try to straighten that leg. We lift and twist, rotate, look back, and then bends the knee back in. Last one, we spiral up, 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 and back to center. We switch, left hand on, grab on, wherever you can. Right leg is still at the party, y'all. Let that left leg go out to the side, and then back back up. Last one. Keep both feet flexed if you can. And then push that heel up and into your hands as you come all the way up. And you are done today. This was fun. Awesome work.